This goes. Sound check, sound check. Maybe that's good sound. I don't know. How's everyone doing tonight? Are we live? We're live. Says we're live. 5 minutes, 5 seconds, whatever. How you all doing today? Trying to get set up. Of course, mad scramble because nothing's working the way it's supposed to. It's funny when you don't use something for 4 months and you come back and all of a sudden everything seems to be different. Like there's been gremlins or something in here. Changing all our settings. Anyway, we're back. We're back in Montana. We're feeling healthier.
Yeah.
I don't think we're 100%. We're just dealing with some tiredness and some joint pain and some other stuff, but we're doing better. So say hi to everyone. First of all, hopefully we can hear you, or you can hear us. Let's see, we got Di Diz in the house. How you doing, Di? John Randall, Frank Landgraf, Asylum says, hello, Bear family. I miss these chats. Hope all is well. Tomorrow's my first day back building industrial control panels. Hope it goes well. I'm sure it will. But we'll keep you in our prayers. Kurt in Reno. Kent is here. Luke's around. Rio Pata, 2009. Anyway, great. Di says they can hear us. Excellent.
Yay!
Oh my gosh. Anyway, how y'all doing tonight? We tried to take the first week off after getting back to just relax, just be in Montana, see some friends, hang out with some people, and just enjoy not being in the desert and being in a camper.
Yeah.
Oh, feels good. Are you feeling happy to be back?
I am. I'm happy that there's like moisture and greenness and that it's not.
It has rained almost every day, but after being in the desert for 4 months,
I'm totally into it.
it's not too bad.
Yeah.
There's green, there's snow on the mountains.
Yeah.
If you saw the thumbnail that was taken just a few days ago, there's Miss Eleanor. How you doing?
Here now. Everyone can applaud. Thank you.
Who's here?
The real star.
Oh, okay.
The star of the show, Miss Elsinora.
I love your hair.
How you doing? Oh, let's see what else. Justin's Garage is here. Mark Olson, Daniel Schaefer, Tim Truitt, Kent around his repair gang. He's in. Hey, repair gang, how you doing? Neil F is in the house. Rude Mopar dude, aren't we all? So having so much fun. There's a buddy of mine in town who he just
Sorry, we had a little person playing with the lights.
he love him. He hates. I don't say he hates Ram Dodge. He feels like he's jinked. He's always had bad luck, and so they sold some of they're always buying and selling vehicles, and they sold some of the vehicles, and they got some other ones at auction. What did they end up with? A early 2000s Ram. I think it's a 1500, but it's a 4-door.
Yeah.
And his missus has been taken to it, and that's her favorite new vehicle, and I just chuckle every time because I know it gets under his skin.
Dirk Vader says Flathead in the house via Ohio at the moment.
Sorry about the Ohio part. I've been there, done that. Bought the t-shirt. Have all that. You were just in Ohio not too long ago.
Yep, and had a super great time.
Didn't bring me any chili.
Nope, sure didn't.
Hey, I got my own though when we made it to Indiana. There was some there. Anyways, Seth Wee says, happy Sunday, everyone. Fred Hill says, so you're in Montana or North Carolina? No, we are in Montana. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Where does the RV live now? RV's in storage. We're keeping the RV down south rather than towing it back and forth. We're using it. It really is, I think, a bit long to be using as a traditional camping trailer. I know some people do. I wouldn't want to tow so. I'd rather have a shorter fifth wheel, like a 30-foot fifth wheel if we were going to do camping kind of stuff. And
You mean living in?
no, camping.
Oh.
For living in,
I was like, what are you talking about? Smaller?
Yeah, but I mean because we use it as a destination trailer.
Right.
We camp down there. We go down there. Anyway, we're back.
I know. Sorry. Can I talk?
Go ahead.
I know that it's been a little bit. And just a reminder, if you want us to see your comment, please type at the Den of Tools, which is like the orange part that's above. Just so that we will make sure that we don't miss it. We do really try to read everyone's comments. Sometimes we get so behind that something happens and we're not able to read it. It's nothing personal. I can't speak English, apparently. Just a reminder.
It's also an issue if we have our phone set to top chat and not live chat.
Whatever.
Scoot in. You're off frame. I only see part
I
of
don't know where you think I'm scooting.
Get closer. There she is. There. See, look at that. Anyway, it's like she's allergic to me or something. Matt says, hey guys, need some advice. I have a 30 by 8 foot porch that original owners put no real structure under. How can I fix it without having to pour footings? Lumber loan is going to be bad.
Yeah.
Well, it really depends on what part of the country you're in and what you have, what's down there. If dirt, bedrock, everything else. There are, if it's not the main supports and you're just adding structural, you can buy floating footings at, what I do is probably dig down a bit, dig a hole, fill it with some large aggregate gravel, and then put one of these footings on it. And you can put that on there, anchor it into a 4x4, and create a post off of that. Although, I'll be honest, up here, we have some areas are really loose dirt, some areas are really hard compact dirt, and in those areas, I've seen people honestly use just a flat stone to terminate a timber on. It's old school kind of construction, but it works.
Yeah.
Anyway, hope that helps. Let's see what else here. Fred says, folks, hit that like button. Thank you so much. Hate to beg for likes, but we got to feed that algorithm. Sorry about bumping the desk there. I'll try not to do that.
I don't know how to fix it.
Fix what?
Chat. It's just stuck on top chat. What am I? One moment, please.
You click on one of those little things right there, like the triple bar. There you go.
Ew.
There you go.
Now we're cooking with Crisco.
Ed C says that looks like a real house. It is a real house. It's a really old house, and we're adding up all the chores that need to get done. We've been de-winterizing, pulling all the leaves from out front. We're at the bottom of, halfway down a hill. So at the end of every winter, there's a bunch of leaves and a little bit of mud and stuff that's come down the hill and rests up against the front of the house. So we got to get rid of all of that. Of course, dandelions. We get so many dandelions. Every year we pull them, and they come back the next year. So we're pulling dandelions, going to be cutting grass, waiting for it to dry out to cut the grass. I'm probably going to have to get a couple yards of gravel because right in front of our house, we're on a dirt road, and right in front of our house, it's just become a swamp. And it's not like the city's going to come out and dump gravel for us, so we're going to have to do it ourselves. Fred says, I owned both a 2002 2500 Ram and a 2004 3500 dually Ram. Sorry, I meant, are you in Montana or North California? No, we're in Montana. I won't go to California if I don't have to.
Oh my goodness, Insulin, you are so right. My headgear.
Oh.
I had something picked out, but I forgot it.
Was it this?
No.
Oh, thank goodness.
But since I don't know where the other one is, I might need to wear that.
You know what you could do? You could go put on your outfit.
No. You can tell them about it.
For Mother's Day, I gave her a giraffe bodysuit, like PJs onesies. She's refusing to wear it.
No,
Yep.
I wore it last night.
You wore it for 5 minutes last night. You have to wear it in the live stream with your horns.
Oh, with my ossicones.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll do that.
Maybe. Let's see here. And Jay Gunther says, hey guys, are the quiet air compressors worth the extra money? Well, that's really a personal preference kind of thing. To me, yeah. I don't run air tools really. I mean, like maybe a nail gun or something like that, and it'll run a nail gun. I have the 2-gallon Fortress from Harbor Freight and that they sent me, and it's whisper quiet. And like for general air compressor stuff, like blowing stuff off of tools and clearing things out and airing up tires and other stuff like that, it's fantastic. It's just so quiet. I love it. It's unless you're running big, heavy tools, there's no reason to have a loud air compressor. Matt says, Illinois, it's dirt. Jake Gunther says, oh, we read that one. Chet says, I need to find a good deal on, a big millimeter sockets and wrenches like 21 through 24. Ideas. I just saw somebody had a deal on those. I know Tecton has reasonably priced ones. I would definitely look at those. As far as a good deal, I'll try to keep an eye out for deals of the week. We're going to get back again doing deals of the week on Monday, so stay tuned. I'll try to see what I can find. Kelly says, hi, Kelly. How you doing? Says, hello, we miss you all.
Yay!
We miss you all, too.
I somehow missed your comment when I was looking.
It's
Hello.
right there.
I know I see it. Hello.
Riapato says, do you peeps go glamping and use a solar generator? What do you recommend if you do? Power stations, solar panels, all that kind of stuff. I do use one, and I'll be honest. When I first started testing them, I thought, how much use are they going to use if you're not doing just, camping, glamping, as you say? And honestly, we use them all the time, and I like a 1,000-watt one for just general lug around use. I used one today. One of my buddies had bought believe it or not, a dune buggy, like the old school fiberglass body kind of thing, but it was tires. It had been sitting in a field for 30 years, and the tires were shot. And we had to get up on a flatbed, and he'd been trying to come along, and the come along just wasn't working. Well, I have a winch, a hoist, that it's AC powered. So we took it out there, hooked it up to the chains on the front of the trailer, and with a power station, plugged that in, and plugged in the hoist to it, and was able to drag that sucker brute force up onto the trailer, and it worked. As far as which power stations do I like, I think if you want to be serious about it, Blue Eddy is my favorite. And in full disclosure, they did send me stuff. EcoFlow would be my second choice. They have not sent me stuff. I'm not a huge fan of Jackery. They sent me stuff when they first got started. And they're not bad. I just think they're overpriced for what you get. They use a lot of non-standard connectors, or at least they have in the past. Harbor Freight carries them now, and Harbor Freight even said, hey, can we send one of these for review? And I'm like, let me stop you right there. It's not going to be a happy review. You're not going to be pleased with it. Just, let's not talk about that. And so we haven't. But those are just the general ones. If anyone wants to chime in and recommend some stuff, go ahead. I'm going to also do a video here probably in the next month covering solar panels, because we've got 8 solar panels currently from different companies that we're going to be comparing to see what kind of output you can get from them. Let's see here. The Cisco Torres says, test. Hey, Cisco, how you doing? And Mark had said to Chet, check out Tecton. And Cisco says, I'm always at war with dandelions. You know the pain. Where are you sitting? Where is it? Hallway, bedroom? It's the living room. Yes, I know the door thing is weird. Everyone comments whether the house is 140 years old. So there's nothing standard on this house. Let's see here.
Shaka with the $2 super chat says, Ryobi tools are trash. So glad to see you this evening. Thank you for the super chat. As
always happy to hear from Shaka. Let's see here. Robert says, the bear. And let's see here. The Rio Pato says, so much rain this month. Yep.
Yeah.
Boga Bega says, I miss Porter Cable. I miss quality Porter Cable so much. And it's such a tragedy what happened to that brand. Rick says, hey guys, good to see you back home. Missing you all in Penguich, Utah. By the way, Rick, hey, great to see you. We've been talking about you all and missing you all. And we can't wait for you all to make it up here, make it up north. We can't wait to see you. But I gotta say, they've been staying down. There are some one of our RV buddies over there, and they've been staying in Penguich, and I've never been over there. Utah is so underrated. If you just stick to the main highways in the flatlands in Utah and you don't get up in the mountains, boy, are you missing out. It's so beautiful. Penguich, such a great little town.
It is. It's really cool.
When we drove up north, we came up out of Vegas into St. George, and then I can't remember where we cut over, but we cut up to Bryan Head, which is a beautiful drive up there, and then all the way down to Penguich. And if you're looking for a place to go and stay a while or camp and whatnot, Penguich Lake, and then down in the town as well. Cute area. Let's see here.
Fred Hill has been a member for 22 months. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Let's see here. Steve says, did you see my Facebook message? No, I'll be honest, I don't have Facebook. I just installed Facebook Messenger on my phone. I got when Facebook Messenger first came out, it just overwhelmed me with all the notices and stuff, and I swore I'd never use it. I uninstalled it, and I haven't had a computer set up. In fact, that's what took us so long getting on line here tonight. Was we didn't have the computer set up. In fact, I'm running my old desktop, not even my laptop. Everything is really slow on this machine. Anyway, let me pull up Facebook real quick. Why don't you read some messages? I'm gonna pull up Facebook and see if I can see his message.
I'm not sure where you just left off.
I'll just pick up anywhere. We'll figure it out.
Wahawk says, "There's a heavenly glow behind your head." Yes, angels are singing right now, actually. Kent says, "Extra Mile Custom Creations, working on replacing rear brakes on my 2013 Chrysler Town & Country. New, it says clippers, but I think maybe calipers.
Yeah.
Rotors, pads. Oh, what fun. Wasn't too bad, just getting the rattle clips in. Oh, yes. Was a PETA. Yep, been there, done that. Mm-hmm.
So, Steve, check this out. 40-volt brushless Ryobi mower. He got at a garage sale for $50 with the 2.5 amp and the 6 amp hour battery. That is awesome. That's a smoking deal on that.
That's really cool.
All right, let's see here. Fred says that was a joke. Bad joke, but a joke. Let's see. City Hunter says, really wanting that M12 fuel. In your opinion, is that the best 12 volt tool line? I think it probably is. The only one that comes close is Makita, but Makita doesn't have anything like the fuel like Milwaukee does. And I hesitate only because I'm a Makita fanboy from back in the day. And there's a lot of 12 volt Makita, the CXT line, that people just don't know about because you don't see it in stores. You don't see it pushed and advertised as much the way Milwaukee does. Milwaukee's very much in your face with their advertising. And Makita's just kind of like, yeah, we're here if you want. If you don't, we don't care because we're making billions of dollars around the world. And Milwaukee's just stuck here in the U.S. trying to make their money here. But I will be honest, if you want full-size power in a subcompact package, you can't beat the M12 fuel line. And I do have some of the 12-volt stuff, the M12 stuff, and I like it quite a bit, actually. But I only ever pick it up when it's like on stupid sales and stuff like that. I've got other 12-volt lines as well. I've got the Skill 12-volt line. I have the Hercules 12-volt line. I'm trying to think if there's any other 12-volt stuff that I have. I have some off-brand 12-volt stuff as well, onesie, twosie kind of stuff. They've all been pretty good, honestly.
Stephen commented that a 40-volt snowblower was in that package as well.
What? Are you serious? I will be honest. I can't wait to hear your feedback. I know it's we're at the beginning of the season, so you're not gonna be able to try it anytime soon. But I've not heard great things about the lower end Ryobi snowblowers. I don't even know about the high end, unless it's a double stage. There's just snow. It just requires so much power and torque.
Steven said he just couldn't let that pass him.
Yep.
I hear you.
I understand. $50? Yeah. Even if you don't like the snowblower, turn around, sell the snowblower, sell it with the 2.5 amp hour battery, keep the 6, use the money to buy another 6 amp hour battery or something else.
Yeah.
John says, hey Bear, update on the kilt?
Actually, there is. I found the right size.
Did you?
Yes.
You're just going to surprise me with it? Mm-hmm. Is it going to be here for next live stream?
I don't know if it'll be here for the next live stream, but it should be here for the one after that.
All right, there you go. Uh-oh. Who's coming? It's the smaller bear who needs a haircut. There he is. How you doing, little bear?
We're working on it.
How are you?
It's my fault. I'm not teasing you, Griff. We've been meaning to get the haircut. I don't want to do it again because I'll just shave him bald like I did last time.
We could do a mohawk.
How is everyone doing on the live stream?
We're doing good.
yes.
Bella Hound came to say hi.
Oh, Bella. Come here. Come here. Oh, my gosh.
Labrador.
Hi.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
my goodness.
Oh. Good girl.
Good girl.
Oh, my gosh. Let's see here. Fred Hill says, finally, my wife finally was able to get the vegetables into the ground. Oh.
Yes, we have some friends here, a lot of friends here, who were like, totally gonna get it in. And we're like, nope, it's snowing, never mind.
Or raining. It's been really wet. Apparently it was a really mild winter up here, but it's been so wet.
We had one rainstorm that was like, you couldn't walk outside without at least getting thousands of raindrops.
Oh, yes, sir. There was good thunder and heavy rain.
Mm-hmm.
All the rivers are really swollen right now. So no fishing right now.
But it's good. We need the water.
Yep.
We need the moisture.
Lake Mead needs the water.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
Wohawk says, hey there, y'all. How you doing? Excuse me. Gary says, hey, Bears. Been a while. It's been busy here. Bauer 2300 pressure washer been working good for washing truck. Just needs a ladder to reach above the cab.
Yeah.
I know that feeling. The other thing that you can do is you can get extension. They make like bent extension ones. So if you don't want to get up on the old ladder, you can get some like that. They sell them on Amazon and other places. Dr. Falcon is in the house. How you doing, sir?
Hey.
Good to see you. Fred says they're calling for rolling blackouts this summer. Better get a power station or a generator. Well, we've got currently 3 generators, and I have one medium-sized power station. Well, I have one medium-sized power station, one we're testing, and the big Blue Eddy we keep for the house. So we're doing all right as far as power. Michael says,
shut the door, please.
Hey kids, can't stay long. Have a very early wake up. Hope you're all well. Mike, Virginia Beach. How you doing, Michael? Hope things are going great for you. Robert says, the bear in disguise.
Yeah.
Well, Hawk says, Jeff, that's the one you read about my heavenly glow behind my head.
Dr. Falcon says, I'm doing okay.
Good. We're glad to hear
Glad to see that we are home.
So glad to be home. You have no idea. I sat down in my chair and I'm like, I'm never moving for at least 6 months. Neil says, almost bought a cordless mower, but fixed the gas. Keep an eye out for sales. That's the best way to do it, really. If you don't have to make the switch, keep an eye out for a great sale and then do it then. Mark says, I gotta say though, the one Ryobi I own is a corded drill, and that's great after 10 plus years. You know what? As I often say, having a corded drill should be a mainstay for everybody, especially maybe a good hammer drill or something like that, because they just always work, and when you get to that point, oh, my batteries aren't charged, this, and just get out the corded drill, just do the work, not have to fuss with it. Gary says, in far northwest Wisconsin River, rock and sand, we have seen blocks with long spikes to hold in place. Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Futon says, running late. Dropped the kids off at camp on our way home. Oh, wow. Rio says, I feel you have about having an old house. Mine's 100 and repairs feel like on the daily. Yeah, there's always something it's kind of like being in the RV. There's always something like, hey, such and such broke. I'll add it to the list.
Yeah.
Fred says, Utah has 5 national parks. Does it really?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Anyway, it's because you got Zion, you've got what's the one where everyone goes? Moab. You've got the Monument Valley. Probably Salt Lake. Salt Lake National Park? I don't know.
Are you sure they're national parks? I know they have quite a number of state parks.
Yep.
We'll have to look that up.
And Gary P says, Utah, where I live. I do love Utah, especially up in the hills. But it's always, it's always a pleasant drive. Lots of hidden gems in Utah. Honestly, St. George is one of my favorite towns. I like St. George. Simon says, I've been to Utah twice. First time was a road trip, stayed on I-80, and it was very lovely. The salt flats were flat. They are. It was neat. There was a random artwork out there, too. Yep. All right. Let me scroll down. It's so nice. We don't have to hear air conditioners running. We don't have to worry about the sun and the heat.
Don't jinx it. We do have a blaze of glory happening over There.
My lighting.
Yes.
Yeah. We gotta get the
other lights.
the other lights set up. So shop update. So the reason it's kind of set up like this is because we used to do all this stuff out of the shop, but then the ownership of the shop of the building changed hands, and I didn't know what was going on, and it seems like it was a good choice, because what we've heard from the neighbors who have a business next door is that the new tenants are noise sensitive. So me running a shop with power tools and stuff in the back probably would not have been tolerated for even longer than a few days.
Yeah.
And I would have been out. So we pulled out of there. We do have a possible line on a new shop. It'll be available in probably a couple weeks. So we're hoping that's going to come through. And I'm super stoked about this new spot.
Yeah.
A lot more space, easier access.
I don't know what my problem is.
We both have been having just like
I think
this
it's
time
just
each
we're
day
just still
was
recovering.
tired.
We're just super recovering.
Or it's the altitude.
Or it's that we're old.
Or we're old. Shush.
Old.
Shush. Remember, Fred says, remember in Utah is where the hiker had a rock fall on his arm, had to cut it off.
Yeah.
Was his arm? I thought it was his leg.
I thought it was his arm.
I don't know. Matt says, do you think Bauer will ever have a 12-volt system? Needs some 12-volt tools. I did ask them about that, and they told me that would never happen. There is a 12-volt system for Warrior, but it's not impressive in the least bit. I just don't think there's room for a second 12-volt. I could be wrong. I don't think there's a room for a second 12-volt system between the Hercules and the Warrior line. Was there something you wanted to add? No? You're all good?
I'm super...
Do you need to read some comments to help wake you up?
No.
You want to take a nap?
Yes.
Let's see here. And Sam says, my second Utah trip was to Logan Airport to change a flat tire on an airplane. The valley and mountains were beautiful. Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. And let's see here. Sam says, I love my Milwaukee M12 drill. Unfortunately, it won't be powerful enough for my new job tomorrow, hence the 120 corded drill. Yep. There are times. I mean, I love my compact 12-volt stuff, but sometimes you need all the power. Ashok says, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, says, hello from California, wishing you and the missus the very best. Thank you very much, sir. And Wahawk says, Milwaukee very much has a UK foothold. I watch a British channel, and this whole shop is all Milwaukee tools these days. And Daniel says, picked up a Cobalt 24-volt brushless trimmer blower to replace my old Black & Decker 20-volt bad battery. World of difference, much better performance. Oh, yeah. That Cobalt stuff is really decent. What, drink?
I need caffeine.
Philly Fix, Philly's in the house. How you doing, man? I think the Ryobi 40-volt latest snowblower is 2-stage. Hey, by the way, how you doing? Oh my gosh. And let's see. Steven says, I may like the snowblower and keep it. Well, if it works for you, man, it works, right? Don says, I have to say I've been pleasantly surprised with the Craftsman V20 series. Craftsman's actually making a comeback, maybe. You know, the big news is that it looks like they're going to finally start producing tools down in Texas. So fingers crossed on that one. We actually start seeing some real made in the USA tools from Craftsman. Not holding my breath, but
I just
who
have
knows?
to interject this about the national parks. Rick, thank you for looking this up. It says Utah National Parks: 1, Arches; 2, Canyonlands; 3, Zion; Force isn't even a word. 4, Bryce Canyon; and 5,
Bryce Canyon.
Capitol Reef. Thank you for looking that up, Rick. I super appreciate it. I am not on top of my game tonight. Thank you so much. Miss you.
Brian says, any update on the SawStop patent? Hi.
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 Were we called?
Apparently, Bella has some information about the what? About the patent? Really? They've got more patents. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's delicious.
So
Oh, yeah. Do you need to go outside? Outside? She's like, no, Mom, it's raining. It's raining.
did she get fed?
Yes, I fed
Okay.
her.
She's been known to lie, just so you know.
He
She's
means
not
the
the
dog,
most trustworthy.
Not me.
Yes, I meant the dog.
I'm gonna fall out of my chair tonight. Woo!
Anyway,
Okay, I think maybe she does need to go outside.
I think she needs to go outside.
Or she thinks she's a really good liar.
Hold on, Griff.
Yeah.
Are you in the bathroom?
No.
No. Will you let the hound outside, please?
Shut the door, please, Griffin.
Oh, it's the bedroom?
Yeah.
Sorry about this.
Yeah.
Real life.
Real life.
Real dogs, real potty.
The SawStop patents. So I actually was working on a video on it, and it's a really long, convoluted kind of situation. But the short of it is this: the main patents have expired, but they added additional patents along the way. In fact, they've been patenting patents on top of patents for a long time. It looks like, if I read it correctly, it's going to be basically after 2004. It should be a clear 2024. It should be clear sailing for anybody who wants to do something.
Thanks.
But somebody could do it right now, but they'd probably face a lawsuit. I think they would win. But the question is, do they want to spend the money defending against that lawsuit? Because SawStop has enough patents out there that no judge would label it a frivolous lawsuit. Because it would be, they say, well, we had reason to argue that we felt that we were justified. That said, there's another company that's a European company that's developing a technology that does essentially the same thing using an entirely different system and would completely bypass their patents, and that could come out next year. So, sorry, between now and 2024, you're going to start seeing competitors.
Just an update, the dog was lying. She refused to go outside.
Did you open the door and it's like it's wet? Is that what happened?
I didn't.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, she was like, no thanks.
What do you want, hound?
I think she just wants to be, she wants to be near you.
Hi.
Hi, princess.
She's like,
Apparently
everyone
she
else
just
is
needs
talking.
Scratches.
Yeah.
You need scratches?
Any recommendations? Sorry, Ashok asks, any recommendations for a decent car wash tool? Nothing fancy, just regular cars and vans. Thank you in advance. Oh my gosh. Children are excellent at that. Sometimes. I hope you don't mind scratches in your car, but I think by car wash tool, I think you mean like a pressure washer. Honestly, any of the electric pressure washers out there will probably do a decent job. The Portland one from Harbor Freight, actually just gave one to a friend of ours. I have another one in storage that I use. We've got one up here. I've used a dozen electric pressure washers from different companies at this point, and my takeaway is they're all about the same. It just really comes down to what features on it you like. Don't spend more than $150 on one though. If you're spending more than that, they're based off of their claims and stuff. It's a lie. And then from there, you're jumping up to a gas-powered one. But for a car, just washing stuff down, electric is just fine. Unless you don't have access to electricity, in which case you need a gas. But there's that. Let's see, where was I? Will Porter Cable ever reemerge? I don't know if that's going to happen. Stanley Black & Decker is well known to sit their butts on brands that they own and never do anything with them, because for them, even if they're not making money with it, it's worth it to them to keep somebody else from competing with them with that brand name. So they'll probably just sit on it. You know who else is good at that? Apex Tools. I'm calling you out, Apex, just so you know. Grimmute's in the house. How you doing, man? Back in beautiful Montana. Yes, we are. I'm still stuck in Miami. Why are you in Miami so much?
He also said that he can't hear anything over the AC, so I'm guessing that you are in an RV in Miami. So I'm so sorry. We have been there.
Yep.
I have been to Miami, but not in an RV. But you have been there a long time.
Sorry, Tom came out had a question. I somehow missed it. It says, I would like I would like Ego to come out with a pressure washer. I'm enjoying my collection of tools so far. That would be a cool tool. You know what? I will send them an email and let them know, because that definitely seems like something that needs to happen. Fred says, I know this sounds funny, but, I'm looking at getting a whole house generator. My brother got a generator installed last week. He loves it. No lost food. Doesn't sound funny at all. We have a whole house generator. Make sure you get a cutover switch installed. You're not trying to backfeed, but other than that, I think that is the way to go. It's the reason we went with the Harbor Freight, the 9000, because it was the biggest affordable whole house generator that we could find that was also super quiet and reliable. So let's see. Make sure I haven't skipped over anybody else. Dennis says, I agree with the Deb of Tools. That's why I didn't show up. Sorry, typo there. Anyway, I agree with Bega. I missed the old Porter Cable. Followed Amazon links yesterday. The price went from $8 to $14 in 8 hours. Yep, that's like, I get a lot of people. I post these links to Amazon deals, and they're like a week later. Even on the hot deals, they'll be like an hour later, and they're like, the deal's dead. This is a scam. I'm like, no, people bought it. It's what happens. Jeff Teeter, hey, Jeff says, I burned up my very old skill quarter drill last week. That sucks. I mean, you've got a tool like that that's been around for a while and you trust it. I've got an old skill too that I love. And it's been, there are times like I was drilling holes through the house here. We have 1.5 foot quarried stone walls. And I had to run cable from outside. And my corded wasn't going to do it, or my cordless wasn't going to do it, but that did a fine job. Greg says, I got a Greenworks 20-inch mower with a 5 amp hour battery. Loving it. Greenworks are solid tools. They as far as the lawn care, they did send me their cordless power tools, and I was not impressed by them. They were terrible. I just wasn't impressed by them. But the lawn and the outdoor power equipment is really solid. Fred says, luckily, I've been retired for 10 years as of the 15th of June. My heart doesn't get started until afternoon. Hey, our house is over 22 years old, and there are money pits, too.
Yeah.
Well, sorry to hear it, but glad to know we're not alone in that.
Yeah.
All right. You sure you're not missing any comments there? You sure? You don't want to read anything? You're going to fall asleep over there.
I am.
Pour me some more soda. How about that?
On top of things tonight. My body's here. Not sure where the rest of me is.
Give me a back rub. That'll warm me up. Steven says, I just need a charger. I'm curious, how are the non-name brand ones on Amazon? Honestly, I've not used them, really. I would look on Direct Tools and see if you could find a charger there and order that, because you're getting factory direct. It's been, they've gone over it. That would be the best place to go. And maybe CPO also. I don't know if CPO has the Ryobi stuff, though. They do have a lot of factory reconditioned stuff. But, if you do get a non-name brand charger, the only thing I'm going to say is don't leave it on the charger overnight. I've heard of so many shops and garages burned down by chargers. And those were name brand ones, much less non-name brand. Let's see here. Neil says, I'm sorry, I'm skipping again here. Grimmian says, RVAC is wearing me out. Can't hear anything over them. Yeah, we know that. We know that so well.
Yeah.
Steven, you're not right. Neil says, since last live stream, I traded my Honda EU 7000, EU 2200, and a few chainsaws for a Miller Trailblazer 325 diesel. Takes some time, but trading isn't always bad. No, if you can find a good trade, do it. Fred says, I'll be turning 65 this year, starting a beginner DIY all-around shop. What would you recommend to start out with, i.e. saw, drill press, etc.? Drill press, honestly, I'm a big fan of the Harbor Freight 17-inch drill press. Saw, it depends. You're talking table saw? Because it depends on the size of the saw, or of the shop. So I currently have the Rigid, aka the old Delta table saw, and honestly, I'm probably going to end up getting rid of it, because I've also got the I'm forgetting the name of it, and I'm being, it's terrible. It's the one company, they're based out of Europe. Evolution. I got the Evolution table saw, and it's got a sliding table on it. It'll cut metal, and it's a job site saw, but it's not a compact job site saw, and it's got one of the bigger tables out there. And because it folds up, I can put it up against the wall, and it gives me more flexibility of space in my shop. I typically prefer a full-size table saw, but I do so much product testing and stuff, I need room for things. We're going to be doing a lot more automotive. We are going to be doing a Jeep build on a 96 ZJ that we're going to be tuning up. It's a free Jeep series we're going to be doing. Neighbors gave it to us, and we're going to be giving it to Duncan for his everyday driver. Since he can drive now, he's been driving. That'll wake you up.
Yeah.
He's actually a really, really good driver.
He is.
Having issues with the brights at night.
Yeah. Well, that takes a little bit to figure it out.
Yeah, it does.
And learning to drive at night in general. Not to mention like our roads are wonky.
At night in the rain in Montana with deer and elk.
And our craptastic road.
And hippies with their fans. Anyway, what? It's true. Anyway, let's see here. Joey says, do you have any experience with Ryobi 18-volt chainsaws? I'm debating on getting one mainly for camping trips, cutting wood, and fire. I have tried one. Like a friend had one, and I tried it like just a couple cuts with it. Not enough experience to be like, oh, this thing's awesome. I will say it felt like it was good quality. And what I can tell you is the feedback I've gotten from other people, which is they really enjoy them. They say that they work great. They're not the kind you take out into the back 40 to fell big timber, but for cutting wood into a fire pit, should do a fine job. Especially if you're already in that battery system. Are you okay over there?
Insulin's giving some really great driving advice.
Oh, nice.
You'll get to it. I apologize for laughing while you were answering.
Oh, excuse me. Scott says, just buying land for RV park and pole barn for your shop. We have talked about doing just that. There's some land around here that like 40 acres. Like if we could snag it, if we could find a way to finance it, we would probably buy it, put a pole barn on it, and put in spaces and stuff for an RV park, and then like only allow our friends to stay. What? It's true.
Yep.
We'll have a whole people can come in, they can do the application process, a 3-day review kind of stuff.
Yep.
Stay at the KOA.
We have to see a picture of your dog.
We'll come by, we'll do a site check, make sure that we like the way you're living and stuff. I'm just
Make sure
joking.
you really have a dog.
I'm joking. Yeah, you have to have a dog to stay there.
Mm-hmm. Has to be cute.
Has to be cute.
If it's really cute, it might not leave with you.
It might come back with me.
I know. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's see here.
Penny. Just saying.
Scott says, thanks for the Utah shout out. Send you an email with a pic you're gonna dig. Oh, cool. Always like a good pic. Let's see here. Well, we got so many great pictures. The kids have been taking pictures of the weather here and stuff. Oh, I'll check that out. Oh, nice. Aww. I love that with the cigar and everything.
That looks like
that is great. I'll be honest, not to toot my own horn, I absolutely love our camping mugs. Those things are great.
I do. It kind of reminds me, the size is smaller than I anticipated before we got it. And it kind of reminds me of those
old school camping mugs.
Carry on.
Kind of reminds you of what?
It kind of reminds me of a cross between those old school camping mugs and the mugs that you get for kids. Like their first cup. Don't make that face at me.
Faces have been made. No takebacks. All right. That's an awesome pick. Actually, hold on. Let me see if I can share it. Read some comments. Let me see if I can share this.
Okay, where did we end off?
I don't know.
Well, you're
Utah somewhere.
Thanks for the Utah shout out.
That's where we're
Okay, I'm reading.
Why aren't you reading off your phone? That's your job.
Because I do other things on this phone.
Oh my gosh.
I'm at a different section than where you were. Scott M says, thanks for the Utah shout out. Send you an email with something. With a pic. Oh, that's the pic you're talking about. Haha. I knew that. I'm on top of it. Mike Adams says, now it's sideways.
I know.
Says, howdy y'all. Sorry I'm running late. Me and Half Pint have been washing and shining up the Dodge. I'm listening in while we finish up. Awesome. Thank you so much. I hope that you're having a super great night, Mike. Steven says, yes, the dog is lying. LOL. That's true. She was a liar.
She does. She's a bad liar.
Fat liar.
There, put it over my face. That's a great pick.
It is.
I love that.
I love the mug. Fred Hill says, soapbox time. Can you believe this crap coming out of DC about broomsticks? We're not going to talk about it, but yes.
Oh, I can.
Nope.
Sure I can.
Nope.
That's
no
politics.
Nope. It's a dumpster fire, and we're going to move on.
Here's the only thing I'm going to say.
Oh my gosh.
They're doing this there's a whole thing talking about, like, this is only an American problem. And they on all the articles that see that, they quote this one study, and the study is complete BS, and the guy won't even share any of the data with anything. And they're talking about, trust the science, when the science is like, no, I won't show you my data, and I won't let other scientists verify it. It's not science. That's not science. That is stuff I made up myself. I can do that too.
What he's saying is do your research, unless they won't show you the research, and then just be
then that's all the
afraid that
research
they're
you
lying.
need.
Frank says, he's talking to Fred Hill. That's what he says. Mater's Workshop says, MICKEY MOUSE. Okay, don't demonetize us. I sang that myself.
You done?
Yeah.
Okay.
MIC.
Curious Cretin says, have you tried the DeWalt 12-volt multi-tool? No, I've not tried the 12-volt one.
Oh, excuse me.
Hi. Oh, my gosh. I'm going backwards.
Hi. I don't know what has gotten into her. She is like, really needs to be center stage situation.
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh. Ow. Vicious hound. Okay, Bella, you have a little bit of dog breath. You need to go outside?
Where's your toy? Where's your toy?
She
looks at it. She's like, I'm not going to go get it.
The squeaker came out of the toy today.
I think she wants more food.
Likes to...
She chewed the squeaker out of it? Bad hound.
That's like her favorite thing to do in the whole wide world. And then my favorite thing is to step on it and act like I don't know where the noise is coming from. He has found her spot, and her little back leg is like...
She choked herself.
Dog breath.
All right, Mike Gab says, howdy y'all. Sorry I'm running late. Me and
I
half.
already
All
read
right,
that.
fine.
See,
Where
we're
you at?
all the way at the bottom. So
At
you
the
need
bottom?
To, yeah. I thought you were staying on top of things.
No, that was your job.
I was staying on top of things.
All right. Frank says, how about the Heart 2 4 amp hours and choice of a tool for $99? That's not a bad deal. They're not the best batteries in the world. But at least it's not the 1.5s, right?
Oh my goodness.
Greer says, yes, RV living inside this building while we remodel it. We were just talking about maybe doing something just like that up here.
Yeah.
We're looking at some property that does have a pole barn on it and thought about we could park our RV in that over the winter.
Yes. We just need all of the pennies.
Gio says, who is the most underrated tool YouTuber in your opinion?
That is such a hard question.
Philly Fixed. He's got a great channel. And, he got a lot of hate because he got a hold of the flex tools. He got thrown in the deep end quick. So I think he could use a bit more love. Toolhead has been just plugging away for years with consistent stuff. He could use a bit more love. Who else? Justin Dow. Justin Dow's just been just hammering away and trying to do the best he can. He's a great dad, great content, just honest kind of stuff. He and we don't always agree on stuff, but he's always honest about his feelings on stuff, and he provides good advice. So, at least the best advice he can provide, right?
Yeah. Daughter Raw, just saying.
Daughter Raw has probably the best
non-content
on all of YouTube. Let's see here. Geo says, that's the one I just read. Fred says, sorry, missed it. What was the whole house generator you're using? And what was the rate? We've got the Harbor Freight 9000 super quiet.
Steven, I think you answered that for him already. Thank you.
We paid $2,000 for it. I think it's up to $2,200 now. Hawk says, throwback to Nike batteries. Plug the charger into a timer, set it to turn off. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. In fact, I thought about doing that whole thing. So because I'm not going to give. I have a garbage can full of chargers from the shop. That like every single charger.
Not a euphemism.
No.
Legit.
Like a
can.
full size, 3 foot tall garbage can full of chargers. Now I'm not throwing away. That's how I was transporting them. But just to give you an idea how many chargers I had. And I had them covering the entire top of one tool chest. And I had all that then plugged into a power strip. And that would have been great, is plugging that power strip then into a timer. So when I left the shop, or I knew it in the evening, that it wasn't going to do anything.
Yeah.
The David says, is there a tool, either hand or power, that no one makes anymore that you wish somebody would make again?
That's a good question.
There was one, and that is, that there was no U.S. made vice grip anymore, and Malco Tools fixed that with the Eagle grip. So that's back in the U.S., made in the original DeWitt, Nebraska plant that Eagle Grip was first made in. So I'm happy about that. Honestly, what I wish we'd get more manufacturing back in the U.S. It's hard to do, but it's. I always try to support. I don't give people a hard time if you buy stuff outside the U.S. I'd buy stuff outside the U.S. because made in the USA tools are either not quite as good quality as they used to be. Like, I used to love Channel Lock, and I'm sorry, but Channel Lock is not the quality it used to be anymore. And they are made in the USA, and I love them for doing it. I just wish it was slightly better quality. Proto, made in the USA, hand tools, but they're pretty pricey. Snap-on, of course, is ridiculously pricey. Wright tools I love, but they're expensive. Tecton is doing a pretty good job at trying to find some sort of compromise and come out with USA-made tools. Anyway, I'm trying to think if there's anything else out there that is a tool that used to be made. There's always somebody who's making that tool, so it's not like there's an actual tool that's disappeared that I can think of. Are y'all back to starting at 8 p.m. Eastern? I think so. We started at 6 p.m.
Which is 8 p.m.
Mountain.
Eastern.
Yeah. Where was I?
We're in Montana. This is our
Are we now?
In Montana.
Did I scroll? Okay, here we go. Scorpion Sundays here. It says, hello, Bear family. Miss you guys. We missed you all. We're glad to be back.
Glad to be back.
And spending our evenings with you all on Sundays. And so it says, brights at night. The proper procedure is turn them on as much light as possible and screw the oncoming traffic. At least that's how too many people do it. Yeah, it is.
And that was the comment that I was laughing about.
Ryan says, Den Tools, thanks for the SawStop info. One more, looking for a portable bandsaw. Anyone coming close to Milwaukee corded? I think the Bauer, I've used the Bauer corded for years, and you just buy a better blade for it. Because really, when it comes down to a bandsaw, it's all about the blade. You let the blade do the work. You don't force it. You don't, cause it to overwork the motor. Just let it go at it. If it needs a little bit of oil in there, put some oil in there. Just let it do the work. Fred says, are you going to teach him on a manual training? I would like to. We don't own a manual transmission. And I was just saying that's a good excuse for me to buy a Jeep.
Of course you can, honey.
Really?
Yeah. Not with my money. Just kidding. I think it would be great for him to learn.
Actually,
and I was literally just thinking, who do we know that has a manual?
I know a guy here who's got a manual. We were talking. I know a guy, and he said we could borrow it to teach the kids.
Cool.
So we might be doing that.
Do you know someone that has like a semi so that I could learn on that? I'm just wondering, asking for a friend.
Yeah. Mike says, I'm starting to be a little disappointed in my Bauer half-inch impact. My Dodge truck wheels torque to 130 pounds. The impact is just not consistent on breaking them loose anymore. Really? That's interesting. Yeah, because that's what mine go to also. I'm trying to think if I have the impact. I think I do. I'll test it on mine. The Dice has just ordered a 14-inch Harvey 220 3-horsepower bandsaw. Save $700. Sale ends in a few hours.
Guacamole.
3-horsepower bandsaw. Oh my gosh. For $700. That seems like a fantastic deal.
I've saved $700.
Oh, saved $700. I'm like, $700 for a 3-horsepower bandsaw. Hannah says, okay, we talked about that. And Silent says, I don't have a dog, but my sister said I can borrow hers. Her dogs are very cute.
Awesome. Then you could perhaps stay at our RV park that doesn't exist
We'll consider
yet.
it.
But you have to bring the dog with you.
They can't just bring a picture of the dog?
No. No, the picture is part of the resume process.
Oh, yeah, okay. Dental Tools sippy cup. Nice.
That's right.
Grimius is basically turning a huge building into a huge toy box for the boss's cars and boats when he comes here. It's getting new offices and other cool stuff.
Apparently, I don't know how to sit down in a chair. I feel very short.
Jeff says, I messed up the jaws on the chuck on my Ryobi hammer drill. I was using a half-inch drill in a half-inch chuck. Don't do it. Yeah, I believe on most of those that the chucks are removable. I'm not sure about it on the Ryobi, but check it out. You might be able to replace the chuck. Wait, where's the bear? Bear doesn't do live streams and doesn't work on the weekends. He keeps telling us that he's talent, so
Yeah.
that's where we get. Mm-hmm. He's probably off eating the people in the teepee over there in the BLM land. Mm-hmm. Did you see the post on Facebook about that? Mm-hmm. The whole teepee village.
I saw a picture of the
Hippies.
teepee, but I didn't see any comments about it. So is there like a...
Apparently, it's a test for high. They're testing for high winds, so they have the highest point out there. And once they get secure, there, it's going to work. There's going to be like 20 teepees all over there, and they're going to have like this village where people can come and stay in teepees.
So what I envision happening is that someone will decide that the test is over, and Livingston's Mother Nature will be like, "Here, hold my drink,"
Hold my beer.
and blow them all over the hill.
Or how about this? Those sticks are going to be the highest point on that hill. They get wet. Nice little lightning blast. Bzzzt.
Yep. Mm-mm.
Anyway, Fred says, I love Kid Rock when he said he retired. He said when he retires, he plans on sitting on the porch in his rocker with a cigar and a glass of whiskey. That sounds like an excellent thing to do. I just can't sit still that long. I'll be honest, this whole week I've been trying to not work, and I constantly catch myself going, I should go and do blah, 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 and I should do this, and
Yeah.
it's hard.
I think we both, like I totally conquered too much one day. And it's like, oh, right, I'm not 100% yet.
Yeah.
I knew that. Like this evening. I think this evening I'm going to do laundry. We'll see how that goes.
Rail says that their dog is a habitual liar.
Yeah. Bella's like, I need thirdsies for dinner. And you're like, I think you might have had dinner.
Oh my gosh.
Never. I'm actually starving.
My favorite was when she comes into the bedroom and thinks she's going to get in bed with us. I'm like, there's not room, dog.
She's like, no, really, there is. It's like right where you are.
She's like, right there. If you could move your feet, just pull them up.
Just get out of the
curl
way.
up like I do, and
Yep.
it'll be fantastic.
Yep.
No.
Basically, the dog wants to be in charge.
Let's see here. Fred says, we are going to get some of the severe weather. We got hail, lightning, and heavy rain. Yeah, we've had, I think, all of that so far. Mm-hmm. In the last week.
One of the days I went grocery shopping, I was trying to put the groceries away, and the hail was trying to kill me at the same time. It's great.
And on the trip up here, we got snow in West Yellowstone, because when doesn't it snow in West Yellowstone?
Never.
I don't think there's a day during the year it doesn't snow there. PT says, evening, Noah, good to see you there. Thank you much. Aaron says, hit that like button. Thank you, Aaron. By the way, that said, it is top of the hour.
Yes.
I do want to say one thing. Scorpion Sunday says, just became a journeyman electrician. Congratulations. That is quite an accomplishment, sir. Good for you. Also want to say a huge thank you to all our mods. That's everyone with the cobalt blue wrench behind their name. Also want to say, if you are a mod and you do have a channel, feel free to put a link to it. We have a lot of people here. They're all trying to, create good content on YouTube. And we just talked about people who, deserve a little bit more love. Mater's Workshop, that's another great one. Go check out Mater over there. And some of our other creators here who are trying to just make it in the YouTube universe, give them some love. Take a moment, go follow them. Watch one of their videos, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment, that sort of thing. Also want to say a huge thank you to everyone who sponsors us, or supports us, I should say, with the what am I talking about?
The super chats and the memberships.
Everyone who supports us with the super chats, you're all fantastic. Boy, just not getting back on this horse well, are we? No. And of course, the members, that's everyone with the bear behind their name. That's the whole YouTube membership thing. There's details down in the video description if you're interested in that. Anyway, thank you all so much for supporting the channel. Thank you all of you for just being here. Especially if you hit that thumbs up button. It does really help the algorithm. And you know what? I should say a special thank you because this is the first live stream we've done since we hit 200,000 subscribers.
Yes.
Quite the milestone. It was, I went and I popped into, hey, Griffey's back there. He's like giving the thumbs up. I popped into someone else's live stream the other day, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, one of the big YouTubers is here," and I'm like, it feels weird to think of that, but at some level, you got to say, yeah, 200,000. That's a lot of people. It's not just that; it's 50. We also hit 50 million views total, and that is astounding. So I want to thank each and every one of you for being part of our community here, especially those of you who join us every Sunday for the live streams.
Yeah.
All right. The Steven says very fine non-content that she has.
Yes, daughter of Ra.
Yep. Fred says not a bad price for the generator. Do you leave your generator outside all the time? No, we don't leave it outside all the time. Although this area is probably pretty safe to do so. Just the weather, and I need to if I'm going to do that, I have to build a cover and stuff for it. We have a mudroom that we can just pull it right out, take it a safe distance from the house and run it from there. Frank says, I'm considering the Duramax 1300 generator with natural gas hookups. It is portable, about $2,400. I don't think I've seen that one. I'll have to take a look at it. The only issue I have with a lot of these generators is that if you need service for them, like we got the extended warranty on ours, so if we have an issue, we can take it back to Harbor Freight. If you buy a Honda, of course, there's always Honda service centers around. But there's a lot of these ones, like the Westinghouse and stuff like that. I don't know where you would get them serviced if you have an issue. And the problem with these big generators is they don't get run very often in most cases. You should go out probably once a month and do a run to warm them up, make sure that everything's working and stuff. Because with a motor, the longer you let it sit, the worse it gets. Even if you have Sta-Bil and whatnot in it, it really is an issue. So just be aware of that. Jimmy says, do y'all happen to know where I can get some good quality torque set bits for my drill driver? I did a video on those, and I pretty much found they're all disposable. So what I would find is some place where you can get a good warranty replacement. Tecton's a good one. Harbor Freight's a good one.
Good job, Griff.
I would say Husky also at Home Depot, but it depends on your Home Depot and how good they are about replacing stuff. Some Home Depots are great. Some of them aren't. In one area when we lived in California, the Home Depot was absolutely terrible and you had to go to Lowe's. Mm-hmm. And then when we moved into California, the Lowe's was terrible. You had to go to Home Depot. And up here, they're both great because it's Montana and people up here take pride in their work. But it really comes down to warranty on those bits because they're going to break. At some point, you're going to break them, and you're going to want to get them replaced. So just find somebody who's going to get decent quality at and is going to be somewhere where it's easy for you to return them.
Daughter Ross says we got 208 watching and not even 120 likes. So
What?
Please
What?
like us. And if you don't, I mean, you can thumbs down it if
Yeah.
that's how you're feeling.
Yeah, do it. Do it.
I mean, I will
Do it.
look at you funny, but
Fred says, Bear, didn't you say some of the best tools are coming out of Taiwan? They are. Taiwan's really stepped up their game. They're making fantastic tools. And a lot of them, the top manufacturers, their top end tools are coming out of Taiwan.
Steven says, well, my alarm goes off early. Got to get some sleep. It was nice catching a stream. Have a good night. Have a great night.
Have a great night.
And have a great day tomorrow.
Then Mark says, all Tecton screwdrivers are made in the USA. Are they? Because they had one where I think the handle wasn't made in the USA, but the metal component was.
I don't know.
So, I don't know, maybe they've updated it. I don't know. I haven't looked at them recently. Jason says, I've been using the same power tools for a decade or more, ready for a few new ones. What's the big deal about Festool and why are they so expensive? Festool is designed for the finished carpentry, high-end woodworking set. Literally for professional, installers and cabinet makers and stuff like that. And they make fantastic tools that have, I'll be honest, like I used their version of what they call it, they don't call it a hammer drill, but it's what you would consider a hammer drill. And it was buttery smooth. And I was stunned at the quality of it. And the sanders are fantastic. They got these vacuum table clamps and their track saw. It's all really nice. It just all works. Just the way I've never used a Festool tool and been like, that's not a great tool. They all work fantastic, but they're also stupidly expensive. And you can get tools that will do 95% of the performance of the Festool for a third the price. Festool is really just for those guys, and they make a complete holistic system that will like go into your van they have the sustainers and everything that all packs in, goes with their pack out kind of system. In fact, they're the first ones. They're the guys who really made that whole pack out kind of sustainer system or a serious thing. And if that's what you're doing, then do it. But if you're not a pro in that system, I mean, if you got money and you want really high quality tools, sure, there's nothing wrong with them. They're just like the Makita track saw is almost as good, and it's literally half the price. All right. Master Fan says, as a service plumber, I could say you're right on about channel lock. I'm sorry to say it. I really want to support those guys. I'm a channel lock fan from back in the day. I've got old school channel locks. I've got a bunch of old channel lock tools. And I go, and there's many times where I think, I'm going to go replace this tool. And I go in and I look at the channel lock and I'm like, yeah, that just does not look good. And I go with something else. Let's see here. 21% of Tecton's lineup is made in the U.S. That's correct. And Kent says that John Deere is moving its tractor cab production from Waterloo, Iowa to Mexico. This after 5-week strike was ended in November. All right. So if you guys don't know, Kent, I don't know if you're aware of this. I'm originally from Iowa. I grew up in Iowa. I was a John Deere fanboy since I was a little kid. Had all the hats, the shirts.
Oh, Eleanor had such a great little
Yes,
John Deere out.
I had family in the Quad Cities. It was John Deere country, all right? I am so pissed at John Deere. I wouldn't take one if you gave it to me. Their whole right to repair issue, what they've been trying to pull with farmers. If I saw the CEO, I'd probably sock him right in the snout. Just not happy with that company. And this just adds insult to injury as far as I'm concerned. I get it. Dealing with unions and strikes and all that stuff. I totally understand. I'm honestly not a huge fan of unions because I feel they often get corrupted and used for nefarious means by other powers that be, and don't really take care of the workers the way they should. But that said, yeah, I don't see myself ever. And we have a huge John Deere dealer here in town. And no, I will not be covering them or talking about them or doing anything with them.
Wahawk says, at the Den of Tools, everyone be quiet. We're keeping Jesse up. Shh.
No, spit soda all over you. Daughter Ross says, I
so
was
sorry.
summoned.
Yeah.
Someone spoke her name.
Yep.
And the dark lordess, princess has come. I don't know what her title is. Although daughter of Ra would be pretty bright because Ra's the sun god kind of thing. Sorry, getting into my mythology there. Greg says, that's when you just read it. Oh no, it says, can't stay at your campsite. Had to put our beagle down. She was 16. Oh my gosh, you're going to make me cry. I grew up with a beagle, and I love beagles. I always said what I would love to get is like a bunch of land and a pack of half-fed beagles. Because if you grew up around beagles, you know that they're food hounds. And boy, if somebody got on your property and you get 20 half-fed beagles, they wouldn't find...
Was that called food motivated?
Yeah, they wouldn't find anything. Sorry to hear about your beagle.
I'm so sorry.
The kids are always showing me pictures of... They want another dog, and they know that beagles are my soft spot, so they're always showing me pictures of beagle puppies going, look what we could get.
I like hounds, like with the big ears.
They are hounds. I was thinking maybe a foxhound. If I could get like a foxhound, it's like a beagle but bigger, be able to equal size with Bella. The problem is the howling. That beagle bark.
Does anyone else see a dog in our future? Just me.
Fred says, my dad tried to teach me on a VW Bug, total fail. How I learned to drive a stick was in the Air Force. I made a total fool of myself after 2 to 3 hours of stalling the truck. Yeah, but you got to wonder what the clutch is like on trucks like that.
Yeah.
Wow, James says, I went to Home Depot today and found no DeWalt power tools or any DeWalt tools on any end cap. Is Home Depot dumping DeWalt? There have been rumors that both Home Depot and Lowe's are thinking about dumping DeWalt because DeWalt is so heavy-handed with them. And now Home Depot has Milwaukee and to compete with DeWalt, and as well as Makita, and Lowe's has Flex and Bosch, and they might be like, we don't need DeWalt anymore. Anyway, I don't see it happening though.
Wahawk says, we could put a small saddle on my German Shepherd so youngins could try to ride him.
Oh, I like that idea.
I know a youngin that would try to ride him immediately.
Let's see here. Jeff says, I picked up the new Ryobi hammer drill for $27. Not worth the hassle to replace the chuck. Fulcanelli says, at Agent Deep Freight, thanks for your work and hashtag slick deals. I will pass along the information to you. Fred says, I'm so glad you're homeschooling your children. Me and my wife were talking. If my daughter was still in school, we would pull her out. Yep. It is. Look, we can't even get into it about public school these days.
And that being said, I know amazing teachers. It's not that we're anti-teacher. Because anyways, I'll shut up.
Yep. All right. Frank says 66 in Grand Rapids, Michigan with rain possible. And I think it's about the same here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Futon says, home now. Hello, everyone. Congratulations on 200K. Thank you, sir. You're awesome. Fred says, come on, folks. We only have 188 on board. Frank says congrats. Scorpion says congrats on the 200K. You can see how far behind I am here. Mm-hmm. I'm reading these. Let's see here. The HF Vidshot says 200K, excellent. Steven says, well, my alarm goes off early. Got to get some sleep. It was nice catching the stream. Good night. You take care, sir. Buy your Taiwan tools before it's too late. Yeah, that could be an issue. James says, I went to Home Depot today, that's what we just talked about. Nothing there. Fred says, on a large generator, I would run it once a week for about 20 minutes or so. If you can go with natural gas over diesel, if you heat with LP, then go that way. Mark says, Festool had better be smooth for that price. Yeah, it is. And they have some of the best dust collection, especially their miter saw. They have better dust collection on that thing than anybody else. I mean, it's like way better. And on a miter saw, that is almost impossible to do. Let's see here. Rail says, I found the Home Depot has better stock than Lowe's in Missoula. And Asylum says that Lowe's in Milwaukee kind of sucks. And as John says, I've used the Festool circular saw with a fancy guide to trim a door down. It's a great tool, but I can't justify the price. That's, I think, what most people who, unless you are seriously charging high end, you're doing, cabinetry and kitchen remodels and stuff in high end housing, I don't see most people justifying going with Festool. Wilhawk says, everyone be quiet. We're keeping Jesse up.
Yeah. Jeff Teeter says, thank you for the PSA about charging overnight. You may have saved my house. So you are so welcome.
John Deere says, or he says that John Deere will use the move down there to free them up for other stuff, but won't say what that is. Yeah, I'm not holding my breath on that one either. Mark says, unions corrupt? Who knew? Just ask Jimmy Hoffa. Gary says, Dead Tools, we have a generic home generator and we are set to run every Tuesday. It will power the whole home and it comes on automatic when the power goes off. We do not have that set up. We have to do it manually, but that probably is... And the reason I haven't gone that route is we need to redo the whole panel in the house. We have half the house which is running on, what do you call it?
Knob and tube.
No, knob and tube. And the other half, the kitchen on over, is fairly modern, but the rest of it needs to get. And there's a few drops also that are running off that same circuit, but the rest of it needs a serious update.
It's a project.
Yeah. So what now would go with over John Deere? Case? I don't know, honestly. I'd have to look into it. It's, back in the day I'd say International Harvester, but I don't think they're an option anymore. John says, I love a good dachshund with some like mustard and relish. What?
I'm making faces at you.
Blue and tan dapple long hair. I do love that look on the dachshund. Those are great. Greg says a beagle is a nose with a dog attached.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. Well, Hawk says we could put a small saddle in the we read that one. Walter says, do you think I can use a Ryobi post hole digger as an ice auger for ice fishing? I would think you probably, depends on how hard the ice is, but I would imagine you could do it. Get a good auger on it.
You can make a video.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Turtle says, I had a beagle and a Cocker Spaniel as a kid. The beagle actually moved. Not a fan of Cocker Spaniels, to be honest. Love beagles.
Aren't they normally aren't Cocker Spaniels normally like twitchy little things?
Yeah. Fred says, remember 3 in a Tree? I do remember. I keep thinking about how much I love 3-speeds, but no top end on them is just... But man, I wouldn't mind getting me like a old early 70s Camaro with a 3-speed in it. Anyway. Let's see here. Soil Adams says, what's up, Tool family? Den of Tools family? How you doing? Turtle says, looking for your opinion on axes. Would a $15 axe be good enough steel to work as a bushcraft on general purpose axe? I'll be honest, I don't know what that is. I've felled trees with axes. I don't know what a bushcraft axe is in general. So I'm not...
Anyone who's watching is like, my eyes are going, what does this mean?
So when I was younger and did construction, we did rehab on houses, and we often had to fell a lot of trees. And I loved doing it with an axe, and I did it a bunch back then. But I have not swung an axe in earnest at a tree in years, and have used chainsaws and sawzalls instead. So, I'm probably not the person to ask about that. Jeff says, thank you for the PSA about charging overnight. You may have saved my house. Well, let's hope it wouldn't come to that, but we're glad that we talked about it. Frank says, Duramax 1300 watt tri-fuel portable HXT generator with CO alert. It has gas, propane, natural gas, 5-year warranty, 2 service centers within 30 miles. That sounds like a great deal then. I would definitely go that route. Mark says, if you work in $6 million homes, maybe Festool is justified. I can see that. Yeah. And you know what? The other issue, and that dust collection is a big issue because when especially if you're doing rehabs in houses where the people are still living there, dust is a huge issue. And you know the people with those expensive houses are
Custom individuals.
Custom individual. What's that wife's name? Was it Karen? Anyway. Keith says, you should try bringing the bear and Mrs. DeBear for Sundays. That would be fun. Hi, Minnie Mouse. And Wilhawk says, in case it's Case International, they're IH now. Red tractors have always been superior to green. I don't know about that, but I would probably be, in that case, if they merged, I would probably go that way. Paul says, Bear, I got a deal of a free 4-amp hour battery with the new DeWalt mid-range impact from Acme Tools. Yeah, Acme sent me a bunch of links about new deals like that coming out. I haven't had a chance to look at them, but thanks for the heads up on that. That sounds like a great deal on that. Any chance your site will have T-shirts? We have T-shirts.
We do.
We have 2 sites. I need to put a link from one site to the other site. The Teespring site, it's below most of the videos. Like when you're watching a video on YouTube and you look right underneath it, there's a bunch of merch and stuff. If you go to that site, we have T-shirts on that one. I don't think we have T-shirts on the other. I think it's just stickers and magnets.
Is sweatshirt still on the T-shirt site?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I actually think that I might need to get a new sweatshirt. A lot.
And the kids keep stealing our sweatshirts and wearing them out in the rain and the mud and everything else.
Don't get me started on children stealing my clothes. It's a miracle.
Eleanor steals everyone's clothes. You can look up and you're like, that's my sweatshirt, mom's shirt, her brother's jeans, and her mom's shoes. And you're like, she's like, yes, I look fabulous.
Yeah.
Don't you, Elle? Yeah.
Clothing thievery. As she
Proud
says,
of it.
from our room.
Yeah. Fred says, when I was in the military, I worked with the Power Pro Shop. They covered both portable generators on a trailer and the others were permanent. And Greg says, my first car was a 51 Chevy Deluxe with 3 on the tree. Great car. My first car was a 73 Vega held together by the rust. The Miguel says, congrats on the 200K. Also, I just got the Milwaukee Quick Lock Pole Saw and Weed Whip combo. It's replaced my gas-powered Echo. Acme Tools had them both for $450 with a free 8-amp HD and fast charger. Nice. Finicky. Nice. Fred says, sound like with wood floors, having them refinished with the dust. Yes. No, we did that here. It was a big issue. Sad thing is we need to do it again. Actually, we need new floors. These floors are... We need a total rebuild. Anyway, Mike says, I guess Harbor Freight Blue and Orange is going to be making money off me for more woodworking tools. A crafter in town wants me to be a small wood box supplier for them. 2, second job, 4 for me now. Nice. And PT says Princess Bears should look good. That's true. She has been. And it's hard to argue because she's been taking, a real effort and trying to make she looks nice, doing her hair and that kind of stuff. So
stealing everyone's clothes to make it happen, but a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do.
I'm just saying, honestly, I hate to say this all, but I'm feeling a little wonky right now.
Yeah.
It's been a long day, and we're caught up with the messages. I think we're going to cut it a little short tonight. I'm really sorry. It was just, I didn't put out a big early one because, or a big notification early because I didn't know how long we're going to be able to go. So anyway, we're going to cut it off here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We will be back next Sunday for sure. We're back in Montana. We got real internet, and
don't jinx us.
Yeah. Anyway, you all take care. God bless, and as always, shine on.